on behalf of Elaine Irving, standing right to me, and the whole IMI consortium, Get Real. It's a great pleasure to have so many of you here today. It's interesting on this slide. There's a fair representation of the ones on the picture, also in the room, but more. We also have quite some guests from other parties interested in the results of Get Real. We're sort of reaching the end of a 3-year journey in which we've come a long way in understanding each other and also exploring the, by times, unexplored waters of real-world evidence. And I think it has been very rewarding, and we're very pleased to share some of what this journey has brought us with you. So again, a warm welcome. It's going to be a full day, but there's also a lot of interaction, and as you will notice and probably have seen in the program, there's ample opportunity for all of you to get a feel for what the results of Get Real are, also the deliverables, the tools, the software, the products that support the thinking and the implementation of research aiming at real-world evidence. So maybe a few slides for us to kick off, and I realize that for about half of the audience it's all very well known, but I believe it's good to put things in perspective. Oh, sure. Yeah.
Keep you under control. No, I just wanted to echo Rick's welcome to you all today, and hope that you will all enjoy the meeting. As Rick said, there's a mixture of a number of the consortium members here, which is fantastic to see, as well as those external stakeholders that are very keen to understand the great work that the Get Real consortium has done. So I hope today there'll be a bit of reflection by all the hard work, all the team on all the hard work that's been conducted, and I hope you'll get a great sense of satisfaction when you see all the final products of all the different work packages being presented today. I know it's not always easy to see the breadth of the work that's gone on in the consortium, so hopefully you'll enjoy that. And as Rick said, we really are looking for this to be an interactive session, so work packages mix with the other work packages and find out more about what's been going on. And for those external stakeholders with us today, we really are keen to hear your thoughts and opinions on what Get Real has achieved and what you think we can continue to achieve moving into the future. And I'll hand back to Rick.
Thanks, Elaine, and also picking up on that, continue in the future. I think this is the end of the 3-year period, but certainly not the end of our ambition to spread the word and improve and refine the principles and practice of real-world evidence generation. Just a few words on the IMI program, although I suppose that is well known to all of you, but still, to give the sheer magnitude of the IMI program, here you see the investments made. And it's important to see that it's covering a wide range of topics. The Innovative Medicines Initiative covers a range of topics, including some that are focused on methodology, and although they are small relative to some of the other planets, we believe they are important. And here you see the relative effectiveness satellite and aside of the big IMI sun. This is the way that still many are looking at the drug development process, where a range of compounds starts a rat race that eventually results in one or a few drugs approved by health authorities, and the whole system is tweaked to its meeting that target with a traditional division in phases of trials. The last phase 3, large numbers aiming at benefits and risks, efficacy and adverse events, aiming at convincing arguments towards regulators to approve a drug to the market. Now, the discussion about real-world evidence is really because of what follows. And once the drug is approved by FDA or EMA, discussions tend not to be over. There's new stakeholders that take their roles, like the payers, the prescribers, patients, governments, governmental institutions, HTA bodies, asking questions that have not been answered in the traditional pre-launch phase. In particular, now that the drug becomes available in practice, how does it behave in this routine care setting? How does it compare to the drugs we have already that might not have been studied in the pre-launch phase 3 trials? How does it perform to its other interventions, perhaps non-medical or non-drug treatments? What is the cost-benefit show? Is it affordable? So there's a range of questions that come out and that tend to create barriers for access of patients to the drug. And it's creating serious gaps and eating up serious time. And this has been the motivation for Get Real, to look into the principles, the methods, the theoretical foundations, but also the practical implications of real-world evidence. And there's a range of definitions on real-world evidence around, and this is one. In fact, there's even different terms, and two of them are listed here. Real-life evidence, all information informing a conclusion or judgment on real-life data that are applicable to real-life use and users of drug treatments. And that includes relative efficacy, whereas relative efficacy, that is the extent to which an intervention, say a new intervention, does more good than harm, also money-wise, compared to one or more alternative interventions when provided under the usual circumstances of healthcare practice. And that is what defines real-world evidence. How drugs behave under the usual circumstances of healthcare practice in routine care. And of course, this is not even something that's very well defined. It may vary over time, it may vary across countries, making answers to questions of real-world evidence even more complicated. So this is the overall aim, as the way we set out with Get Real, to show new methods of real-world evidence collection and synthesis, and aiming to get real-world evidence available earlier in the pharmaceutical research and development process, so that decisions on whether or not a new drug or intervention adds value to the real-world situation can be taken earlier, and there will be a reduction of the gaps, the time that it takes between market authorization and access to patients. So that's the general aim of IMI Get Real, and the way the project has been working is through a number of partnerships and by a number of work packages. The partnerships are outlined here. It's really a great strength of the IMI program. At least I've witnessed that intensely over the last couple of years as an academic researcher, that there is such an open and very productive collaboration with the private sector. It's the hallmark of IMI, and in my experience, it really works out very well. So here we had 15 large pharma companies, 1 small and medium enterprise, 13 academic research groups. We had involvement from regulators, HTA bodies, and NICE in particular, but also ZIN, patient organizations, and thereby covering a broad landscape of stakeholders and parties involved and interested in improving the drug development process. And the work has been translated, as said, in work packages. You see them here. You'll see more of that today because we have a systematic presentation from these various work packages. Work package 2, looking at various study designs informing relative effectiveness of real-world evidence at launch. Work package 3, focusing on operational aspects with a particular emphasis on pragmatic trials. Work package 4, looking at new and existing methods of evidence synthesis, so combining evidence that's there already to generate new insights. And work package 1, like a fundament below these work packages, developing a framework for the assessment, a general theoretical framework involving all stakeholders. And then work package 5, the organizational body, governance and dissemination, also responsible for organizing this meeting today. So again, our goal is to show how real-world evidence can be adopted in medicine development and healthcare decisions early on, and make the tools available required to achieve this. And I'm not going to run through these 3 columns. They list softwares, toolboxes, education and training, but you'll be duly informed about these various sets of tools today. So I think that summarizes ends my brief summary of Get Real. By way of introduction, setting us all in the right direction, and I would like now to invite the first presenter from the first work package, Paul or Rob. Rob is taking the stage. Work package 1, working with stakeholders to explore alternative evidence.